What's up, everybody? I am Gridsquare of the internet, and today I want to make a quick video, and this is mainly in a response to something I saw, but um, I want to give a shout out to all the small time streamers, because I'm one of you guys. I'm a affiliate with Twitch. I've been streaming off and on since 2013, and here in this last year, I've been putting a lot of time and money into making my stream better. Upgrading hardware, lighting setups, green screen, new hardware for the PC. I mean, you name it. I've been trying to step my game up because I enjoy doing what I do. I'm not trying to make a living off of streaming. I've got a great job with the government whenever it's not shut down and they fucking pay us. So streaming will never ever be my way of life or living. I do it because it's a hobby. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy interacting with people while playing with games. That's what they did. I grew up with it. So when I see videos like this, because I run a single PC setup myself, and I do so because I'm not a partner with Twitch, and therefore I'm not going to get the bandwidth and whatnot required. Twitch only will accept a certain amount of bandwidth, 6,000, I believe, bit rate for you to use. So honestly, a second PC stream setup, unless you're like recording or doing some other content in a much higher, YouTube, I believe, can stream higher and whatnot, but a second PC just for us average, low boy streamers, it's not really required. I mean, if you have a disposable income, then by all means go for it. You're gonna have a better quality stream, I believe. And you should, because you're having a whole nother PC do all the work of encoding and sending it out to the internet. So yeah, if you have the disposable income, sure, go for it. But unless you're a partner with Twitch or even with YouTube sponsorships and stuff, I mean, you're really not going to see the benefit of it. To me, the cost pro cons of it, not really there. We can argue that another day. So my point was, when I came across this video today, and it was clickbait. Don't get me wrong, this clickbaited the fuck out of me, and I'm pissed about it, but I'm glad I saw it. I've been playing the Anthem demo since Friday night. I've been freaking just fapping to it because it's great. If you haven't touched it, you've got a few more hours to try it. Don't worry, they're going to do an open beta next weekend for everybody to try. So don't worry if you missed it this weekend. You'll still get your chance. I saw this, and I opened up YouTube, and this video popped up right on my feed, and I couldn't help it. Finally, the secret to a single PC Twitch stream. Oh, fuck yeah. I mean, I clicked that thing like it was a Pornhub link, baby. And it's a 4-minute video, and I advise you go watch this because you'll understand what I'm referring to when I talk about this. But let me go ahead and break the whole summary of this video down. Alpha Gaming's a good dude. I like him. I like his videos. He has a lot of good tips and tricks for the little guy. And he does. He makes himself out to be the champion of the little guy streamer and gives you a lot of, good advice and deals that the big time streamers don't want you to know, or they're going to tell you the wrong thing. And he has made his image and his mark by selling that. And until this video, I believed it. This guy had my freaking confidence. I trusted everything this dude said because everything up until this point, I've loved his content. I don't care about his musical stuff or him and his wife, and I don't watch this guy for his musical crap. I watch him because, once again, I'm a little Twitch streamer, and anything I can do to improve my stream, I would like to be educated about it. Whether or not I spend the money or time to do it, I still want to have the knowledge, and then make an educated decision off of that. So until this video, that's how I looked at this guy. So already the clickbait title is brilliant. It got me. But right here, I'm going to go ahead and scroll down. You can read this. This is going to sum it up. What he is basically telling you in this video, in 4 minutes, he's telling you if you want to make your stream look good on a single PC, you need to go out and buy a brand new NVIDIA graphics card. The RTX kind. Because guess what? They don't sell the other shit no more. So he's telling you, and here's the links on Amazon, the RTX 2060, 2070, 2080, and if you buy them off of those links, he's going to get money for it, by the way, in case you didn't know how that shit worked on YouTube. So I feel this was a spot, because if you look at his hashtags there, I feel this was a sponsored video. I don't have any proof of that. I don't know. I haven't asked, but I assume this is a sponsored video for the way he delivered it, and he's getting money for everybody that clicks on those links and buys one, probably. He's basically explaining that if you buy this new graphics card, it's going to solve your problems. That your stream is just going to be magically that much better because the encoding built into the graphics card of the RTX series is just going to take 50% of the load off your computer and blah, 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 because certain games have gotten 46% increase and he throws a quick amount of bullshit at you, and it's basically like a salesman's pitch. If you ever bought a car or whatever, you can kind of, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's a pretty good misdirection off of the main issue. He throws us some pretty graphs that show like, oh wow, look, that's a 50% bigger bar than the other one right there, Sonny. I don't know. I think we should get it, Cindy. What do you think? You know, it's bullshit. He's not wrong. Don't get me wrong. Let me take that back. It's not bullshit because he's not lying about that chart is accurate. The benchmarks for whatever PC he ran those benchmarks off of or NVIDIA did, that's true. That computer got that kind of results, but we don't know like what settings, what other factors involved in that. Benchmarking is a very fickle thing. You can take two identical PCs, same hardware, run the same game, you're still going to get some different numbers. They'll be close as shit, but you're going to get different numbers every time. You know, computing is a funny thing. So this really burnt me up when I saw this because the way he watched the video, he pitches this as this card will solve your problems in the single PC community. It just will. It's going to solve your issues because it's going to take the load off the CPU and your GPU is going to run the game and it'll encode and it'll be everybody's honky-dory. Let me explain something in case you didn't know. Graphics cards have a certain amount of memory on them. Maybe you want VRAM, whatever you want to call it. They have a certain amount of memory they have on them. And some of it's used for gaming, some of it's used for encoding. It can only do so much. If you have a single GPU and you're encoding and playing a game on it, you're going to run into problems. Unless you're going to dumb down the graphics of your game to make room on that GPU's memory slot for the encoding, you're going to have issues there. You know, I'm not going to get into the technical specs of how it all works. You can do that shit on your own. But yes, the theoretic thing I'm saying is if you have a single GPU and you make it do encoding and gaming, you're going to have issues. And the way this guy is saying, like that's the fix. NVENC encoding, ladies and gentlemen, has been around for a long fucking time. This is not a new technology. It's been out for a minute. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you the quick and easy fix to that single PC problem. Don't go fucking buy a new graphics card. Go buy an old one. Oh shit, I just blew your fucking mind, I can tell. Let me explain. Like, me personally, I'm running two GTX 1080s. Now, I bought them within a month of each other back when graphics card prices were actually fucking reasonable. I think these were $500 a pop. I did the water cooling kits on them, blah, 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 blah. But when I do it, I sort of future-proof my PC when I do. That's just me personally. Because I like SLI. I've had SLI since the GTX 9800 series. Yeah, we're going back in time to 2006 there, boys. So I've always been a fan of SLI. I like having two of the same graphics cards. I don't know, I like symmetry. So the point of that is having a second graphics card takes care of your problem. I mean, we can beat around the bush and go technical with this all day long, but it's pretty fucking basic bitch math here. If you're going to use your programs, you know, OBS or Streamlabs OBS, and you're going to use NVENC encoding, well, why would you make your main GPU, which processes your game and your monitors, why would you make that do it? You can get a second GPU and make that do the encoding. Pretty fucking simple, right? Yeah, it is that fucking simple. That's it. That's how it works. There's nothing complicated. And guess what, boys and girls? To make this even better, you don't even have to have the same kind of graphics card. And by that I mean it still needs to be an NVIDIA, and it needs to be a GTX most likely, and we'll get into this list in a second. I'm running a GTX 1080, right? If I didn't have the second one, let's go ahead and just say I've got one. I have one GTX 1080. I could go ahead and put like a GTX 950 from, 2016 in there. And guess what? It's not going to affect my performance negatively at all. You know, if they're not SLI, my computer is just going to say, hey, there's something else in your PCI Express slot. Oh, it's another graphics card. What do you want to do with it? Nothing. We're going to run everything off of my first GPU, except You tell your Streamlabs OBS or OBS, you go, hey, I want you to use that second GPU to encode. And it'll say, okay, we can do that. Click your check mark, start your stream, and guess what? You'll see it. Now, real quick, I'm going to show you what this looks like, because I know I just threw a whole bunch of words at you, and some of you simple bitches aren't going to be able to keep up. So let me break this down. So, gotcha. This is what having 2 GPUs looks like in Windows 10. I imagine 7 and 8 or whatever is going to look sort of the same, but this is what having 2 GPUs is going to look like in your Windows Task Manager. Now, I've got Diablo 3 running in the background because I wanted a game that's got 3D applications in there to show you what the fuck I'm doing. And so right here you can see my remember this. This is going to be a key important thing for a later story and setup. So remember this. Whatever your main GPU is, if you've only got 1 GPU, let's just pretend the second one doesn't even exist. But if you have 1 GPU in your computer, when you go to your Windows, it's going to identify it as GPU 0. That's a very important thing for you to remember here. If you're going to be doing the multi-graphics card setup, is GPU 0 is going to be your main graphics card. That should be the highest one up on your slots. That should be whatever your monitors are plugged into. GPU 0. Very important. Now, if you have multiple GPUs, then they will follow a number sequence. Pretty basic. If you have 2 GPUs, you'll have GPU 0 and GPU 1. If you had another graphics card in there, guess what? It would be GPU number 2. See where I'm going with it? It's that fucking simple. So, GPU number 0 here, which is my workhorse, it's doing all the load of the gaming, is running at 100% because it's processing Diablo 3 here in the background. Now, I'm recording this at 1440p 60 frames a second. That is way more bandwidth. I don't know the exact bit rate right now, but that is way more bandwidth than Twitch or YouTube even allows you to live stream at. So it's overkill. But I wanted to do that to prove this point to you right now. When you click on your second GPU, see this part here where it says video encode? See that number right there? That says 11%. In case you can't read, that's 11%. I'm recording at almost 3 times the bandwidth that Twitch allows you to stream at. And it's using 11% of my graphics card. And not only that, not only is this encoding, but it's also recording it. So 11%. Now I'm going to give you the quick example because I watched this earlier, but I couldn't record the footage when I was streaming. It was acting up. When I do a live stream on Twitch, it uses 4 to 5% of my GPU because I stream at 720p 60 frames a second. It doesn't matter if I'm streaming Diablo or Battlefield or Destiny 2. Even when I was streaming Anthem earlier today, it would use 4 to 5% of my second GPU for encoding. That's it. It doesn't use a whole lot of power, boys. So, that being said, this is why you get that second graphics card. Now, in order to set this up, if you go buy your second graphics card, and we'll go through the list of which ones you should buy in a second, here's how you set it up. You go to your Streamlabs OBS, which I think is a better program than regular OBS. Argue it all you want, but it's just me. Go to your settings, your output, and once again, there's your stream setup, advanced, right here. Now, by default, this right here is going to set to GPU 0. So by default, Streamlabs OBS, and most of your encoding programs, whatnot, use your main GPU by default. All you have to do is set that to GPU number 1 or number 2, whatever GPU you have as extra that's used for NVENC encoding. That's what you set it to. So all you got to do is boop, pop that to number 1, and it's done. And right there you can see it. It's using it. That's all it is. That's how easy it is to set up NVENC encoding on Streamlabs OBS. That's it. That's how you do it. It's that simple. Now let's get to the part of the question where, well, Grid, you've told us all this stuff, and now we know that 2 GPUs is better than 1, and we don't have to spend the money on that bullshit that he was talking about. So what kind of GPU should we get then? Well, if you go to Google and you type in what graphics cards support NVENC, this is the first thing that's going to pop up, and it's a very good resource. This is Elgato. Elgato makes the series of capture cards and all kinds of the stream decks. They're a very fantastic company that's made good products for years. They're owned by Corsair now. So an already legendary company was bought out by an even more legendary company. This shit is gold. You should trust it. So right here, this is going to be what you're going to need to buy that new graphics card, or buy the old graphics card, if you will. First thing you're going to do is click this Wikipedia link. I've already got it. Whoops. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get out of Diablo. So I've got Wikipedia pulled up over here. Go ahead and have that in another tab. Now this is the part you need to pay attention to and remember. If the code name of your graphics card, and by the way, that's going to be the most important part of this list. When you go to that Wikipedia page, this is what you're going to see. We'll get to that in a second. If the code name of your graphics cards begins with GK, GM, or GP, then your graphics card does support NVENC. So I want you to process that for a second. GK, GM, and GP. And by the way, you can read this. This is Kepler, Maxwell, and the Pascal architecture. This is old technology. Pascal is the 10 series cards, Maxwell is the 9 series, and the K goes back to the 600 series. In case you didn't know, the Kepler series came out back in like 2013, 2012. So we're talking about this technology. NVENC encoding has been out for 6 years plus. This is not new, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why people are acting like this is brand new shit, that only the GTX 2000s, RTX cards, have it. They don't. This shit's been out for a long fucking time. And if you've ever heard of something called the NVIDIA or the GeForce Shadow Play, which is their streaming or recording service, what do you think that runs off of? It's been built into your PC. It's been built in, you've had it all along for years. It's there. So I'm sorry, it's funny to me because people just don't know. And they buy into this guy's bullshit. People like him that they want to sell you expensive shit that you don't need. So here's what we're going to do. Kepler, Maxwell, Pascal. So we know that's the code names we're looking for. When you go to the NVIDIA or Wikipedia page, this is what you're going to see. Now, right now, we're going to be looking for desktop GPUs. So right now, let's go ahead and start with the GeForce series because, so right now we know the 10 series was last year's shit. So we'll click on the 900. So right here, we go to code name. And remember, we're looking for GM, GP, and GK. Now we can see, like I said, you can read right here, the 10 series uses Pascal. So right there, all of these are going to have GP in there. We know those work. The 900 series use Maxwell. So guess what? Oh, look, GM starts all the code names. Ooh, we see where this is going? 700 series cards. Oh, look, GK, 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 GM. All of those work. This is when they swap to the Maxwell architecture. Even going all the way back to 2012 with the GTX 600 series cards, guess what? They work. GK, GK, GK. They work, folks. All of these graphics cards that we're looking at right now, if they have those code names, they can support video encoding. And if you look at their hardware specs, they're not that impressive. They don't have a whole lot of cores and CUDA and this and all this other shit that we have nowadays. But for video encoding, you don't need all that. It's just processing power. You don't need all kinds of tessellation and RTX and ray trace and you don't need any of that crap for video encoding. It's pretty simple. Like I just showed you. Like I said, I'm recording at ridiculously high bandwidth, and it's using 11% of my second GPU. It doesn't take a whole lot of resources to do video encoding. It doesn't. These NVIDIA cards were designed for it. They're good at it. So right there, if it was me personally, and I'm a blue collar gamer, I've got the same. I work a government job. I don't do the 9 to 5. I do shift work. But either way, I don't have this giant disposable income or sponsors and stuff where I just get free products all the time. Like, I make a lot of educated decisions and research before I spend my hard-earned money on upgrading my stuff. So that's what I would like to extend to you. This is just me. If I was going to have some money, like right now, I know a lot of us were waiting on income taxes to get processed. If you've already done yours, But that's normally when I do my upgrades. You know, I wait for my tax return to come back and I'd buy 1 or 2 PC parts, you know. Or I do some overtime at my job, whatever. But before I get some money together, I already have a part picked out in mind. So if it was me and I had a little bit of money and I was going to get a second card to do this video, you know, NVENC encoding, I'm going to say get the 900 series. And here's why. And don't pay attention to this shit over here. Like, this is the release price, the MSRP. This is when these cards first came out. That's how much they cost. So don't pay attention to that because I'm going to show you why in a second. So the reason why I'm going to go with the 900 series is because, one, the Maxwell architecture is not that old. I mean, like I said, this stuff came out in 2015, 2014. You know, it's been out for a little bit, but it's not so old that it's out of date and, you know, not valid anymore. It's still very relevant technology. And it will do more than enough of the job of video encoding. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and if it was me personally, I'm going to go with the bottom of the barrel. Because this is going to be your older, cheaper version if you're going to find it. It's a GTX 950. And that's going to do, you know, you could probably look for any of these other ones as well, but this is going to cost you more money. The higher you go up in the series, it's just like with NVIDIA. That's kind of how they do. The higher the number, the more shit you're going to get out of it, and the more it's going to cost you. Like a 1080, 980, those were the freaking top of the barrel, you know, stuff. So you want to go bottom of the barrel here because, like I said, you're not gaming with this. You're just video encoding, so you don't need all the bells and whistles. So let's look at a GTX 950. Oh, look, I went ahead and looked it up on eBay to save you guys the time. I went to ebay.com, typed in GTX 950, and hit enter. I have clicked nothing else. I clicked the one link just to make sure it was there, but that's it. So ladies and gentlemen, right here, these first 3 links, for $26 plus $12, so for under $40 of your hard-earned American dollars, or Canadian, whatever the fuck you're from, you want to spend your money, 40 American dollars will get you a graphics card, 2 GB memory, GDR5. That is more than enough. That is overkill for NVENC encoding for under $40. That is how easy this is, ladies and gentlemen. I shit you not. This is not new. When I'm telling you, this is not new. This information's been out there for a long time. But you don't see a lot of it because most of your big streamers and your content creators are pushing shit because they're sponsored. They get paid by the big companies to push the new shit upon you, so you don't look at the old shit. You just keep buying new. You don't need to. If you're just looking for a quick upgrade to your stream, like, this is it. If you want to freaking take the load off your damn CPU and put it on something cheap and ugly like that, that's it. And that's going to get you NVENC encoding for almost nothing. For $40. $40. That's like, you can't even buy a video game for that nowadays. You know, for $40, you're not going to have NVENC encoding, and it's going to make your stream look better. I promise it will. And if you don't believe me, look it up on YouTube. There's been a lot of people who've done this already. They'll have really nice, you know, they'll have like a GTX Titan graphics card. They'll have Titan cards running their games, encoding on a freaking 900 or 800 series card, just because, once again, it's taking the load off the main one. It's simple, you know. So this is what I would do, you know. So this is my response to video. Finally, the secret to a single PC Twitch stream. No, ladies and gentlemen, there is no secret. It's just hit it under layers and layers of sponsored bullshit. And I'm hoping that I know some people probably clicked on his links and he got a little bit of money from you. Good for him. But I hope there's some of you that watched this and got a little educated on and informed on something, and now you can actually make a better decision on how to spend your money. Because let's go ahead. I'm going to show you. Let's go ahead and just say you want to buy a 2070. That's a middle of the pack RTX card. So you can spend $560. Wow. Yeah, you can spend $560. And that'll get you some encoding. That is pretty fans. Yep. Yeah, and what does it have? Yeah, 8 GB of graphics card RAM. I'm running a GTX 1080. Guess what they have? Yeah, it's not DDR6, but once again, overkill. You're just paying for money. You don't. Silly. So you can pay all that kind of money to get a better graphics card and encode on it too. Or you can go spend $50 and keep your current setup. I mean, now don't get me wrong. Let's say you're going to upgrade your PC as a whole. Okay, you got your income tax money, and say you're running like an old graphics card or something, and you want to upgrade to a newer, better thing. If that's the case, then I mean, I do. I like to upgrade to the newest stuff when it's my time to do it as well. I got when the 1080s first came out. That's when I bought them. So if you were gonna make an upgrade, I'm not saying the RTX cards are complete shit. They're good cards. They're top of the line. Ray tracing is hot garbage, so don't let that be like the fact. Like no, two games that I know of, I think Tomb Raider and Battlefield 5 are the only two games I know of to date that support ray tracing. And you need a freaking beast mode computer to handle that shit anyway. So if you were gonna buy, like I'd say, spend them. What's the 2080 cost? I'm just curious. What is it? Oh, that hurts. Jesus H Christ. Ugh. What's a 4-win? Oh my God! And $900. What? Oh Jesus! Wow! 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 Yeah. I don't know. I was gonna tell you maybe you should. No, you shouldn't. There's no fucking way I'm gonna pay that kind of money for a single graphics card that's not that much better than what I have now. Sorry. $900. You could buy you could buy a streaming PC. You could buy a second PC for that. You could buy a second PC to stream and encode. Sorry. I can't let you. I mean, don't do it. Don't spend your money on these new NVIDIA cards. They cost way too much money and they're not fucking worth it. Go to eBay. They have the 10 series cards out there. Yeah, you might get a used graphics card. So what? I mean, take a chance. And you're gonna get a better deal on eBay than you're gonna get from freaking NVIDIA right now. They're gonna fuck you way out of your money way less. So my point being, guys, educate yourselves. Shop around. Do your research. Don't get fucked out of your money by these freaking fanboys that get paid by the big companies. Like I said, I like Alpha Gaming. He had my respect, and he had a lot of stuff going for him. And until I saw this video, man, this killed it for me, because this was blatantly a sponsor pushed video, and you're basically telling stupid people to spend money that they shouldn't. And it's a fucking shame. That's what it is. It's a shame to see that. So don't do it. Please, 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 guys, don't spend your money on these brand new cards unless your shit is just that I mean, if you have the disposable income and maybe you won one for free or you got a discount, they're not worth it. They're just not worth that money. They're not. I mean, you can get and guess what? I actually looked up a 2080 Ti and they're going for $1,400. You could buy a Titan card. You could buy two GTX 1080 10i's for under that. And SLI that shit, and you're still going to get better performance than that. You have alternatives out there, guys. If you're trying to improve your single PC stream setup, you have a lot of options. The RTX series, in my honest opinion, as a blue-collar little boy streamer, not worth it. Shouldn't be one of your options. Find other routes, guys. So, guess what? That's the real secret to single PC Twitch stream. Don't listen to stupid people that want to fuck you out of your money. Don't be a sheep. Do a little bit of research. So hopefully you guys got a little bit of information off of this. I know it came off kind of like half rant, half educational, whatever. I'm in my feelings about this video, because like I said, I really liked this guy until I saw this today, and it kind of bent me out of shape. It's a shame. So if you guys liked it, I don't care. I'm not trying to make money off YouTube. I don't give a fuck if you like the video, subscriber. I don't give a shit about any of that. I would appreciate a comment, though. I enjoy dialogue, just like I do on my Twitch streams. I don't need subs or follows or whatever. I just want to have a dialogue with people and talk while I game. So if you guys have questions or comments, please just, even if it's bullshit, or hey, fat guy, you know what the fuck you're talking about. I like seeing those too. I just want to see feedback, boys. That's what I want. Just give me some feedback. So I know, and not everything I've told you is like the 100% accurate. I know some people are like, well, this card could do this, or well, if we're going to do a single piece, you're right. I'm just going off the top of my head here. I'm not doing a whole lot of research before I made this video. I saw this guy's shit. I pulled up a couple tabs on the internet, and I made a YouTube video. You know, I know there's some stuff I left out. I could have gone into a lot more detail on a lot of things, but I don't want to spend 2 hours making a video and then editing stuff and doing a lot of work. I didn't feel like doing it, so I just want to get on here and freaking rant for a bit. That's it. So, boys, this is Gridsquare out. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you didn't, go fuck yourself. You know, what ifs? Just whatever you do, don't spend your money on this bullshit. Don't do it. Just don't fucking